Do I? I don't know. You are live. Okay, so let me kind of run you guys through the basics of the setup so you understand how it's all put together. I'll just move this. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. That's better. All right, so couple of things. Running across the top, you've got clickable icons. They all open stuff. So if you click the sort of the unrolled papyri, that'll open up the actual encyclopedia for the game. It's a PDF. You'll be able to kind of go and read various things about the gods and about cults and about anything else you feel so inspired to do. This opens up a bunch of more simple to access information for you. So who are the actual official gods of the cult that you belong to? Because you belong to the official cult as members of the Praetorians. But there's also like the actual founding speech of your order, the Cohors Auxilia Arcana. There's actually an example of how divination works, just so that we're all on the same page on how divination works. There's also some pretty important questions about how pietas works. So you've got two key stats in the game, or two key sort of manipulable things. You've got your hit points, which obviously represents how much damage you can take, but you've also got pietas, which is how in with the gods you are at the moment, or how much god access you can draw upon. You can use this to drive various things. Just note, one of the things is if you convert to another cult, you lose all your pietas. It's like, the gods aren't happy with you. There are a whole bunch of rituals that you can undertake. Eventually, you'll learn some of these. These are like other rituals that you can learn to sort of, do actual magic. It's a bit impressive. You've got your own magic, and then I'll also go and learn more magic, which you can do through the game system. That's that. You've got a link which opens up the map I was showing you guys. Hopefully you have seen. If you haven't clicked on it, it's cool as. So I'll flick that actually open, and we'll see. No, it doesn't. Okay, I'll just show it because it's so cool. Like so very cool. This one. So get rid of all. I think does this do it? Yeah. Oh no. Okay, so it does that. There's a way. Oh, there it is. So, it shows the entire Roman Empire at the late period of the Roman Empire, and you can put in a search for any place, and it'll take you directly to there.
Yep.
So cool.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
The detail's amazing on it.
Yeah. And it has
holy shit.
No, it's fundamentally amazing. One of the adventures is set just north of Genoa, which I think is sort of. Hold on, have I gone too far? Oh, I have, yeah. Genoa doesn't get a particularly. I'll have to find it later, but I was just kind of nerding out on just looking at different towns. And when you click on a link, it opens up a whole bunch of additional information, which you can then click on and go and look at like other sites that have got links to that, like the founding date of the city, all these other cool things. It's just so good. Anyway, there's that. So, there's that. So that's cool. What else have we got? Let's go back to the Foundry. And then this opens up the actual rules for you, which I've also given you a link to. But this is the full rules, not the quick start rules. This is everything, which we'll eventually get to. Cool. All right. Okay, so that's all cool. Now let's open up. Who did we say was left? Oh, this guy. That's right. All right. So you've got your virtues, coordination, coordination, actoritas, ratio, vigor, ingenium, sensibilitas, which you roll for resistance rolls, and if you don't have a skill that's relatively relevant. And then you've got your perite, which are like your skills. So you've got debello, the art of war, the art of the body, the art of magic, the art of the natural world, the art of science, and the art of society. What you'll also see is I've put a couple of specialities underneath them. The way specialities work is they increase the value of the skill. So that value of 1 means this is a 19, not a 18. Okay. You've got life, you've got fatigue running in the opposite direction. You've got pietas, which is automatically calculated, I think. On top of that, you've got an inventory, which has your, weapons, your skills, those sorts of things. You have your talent, which is sort of your magical talent, which is described over here. So once per sort of period, the scholar may repeat a damage on or protection roll. The scholar must keep the second result, even if it's lower than the first one. Yep, you can read all those. You've got your summoning, which is like your once a game session magical ability. So you can sort of say, spend 6 pietas to double the value of a roll. And most of you, that's what that does. So your version of it. Also, you've got your patron goddess there as well. So Minerva is the patron goddess of the scholars, of the savants. And you'll all have different patron gods. They're from the official cult. And then what I've done is I've just dropped in all the different sort of standard rituals. Now, the thing is, they're all done through various manners. So in the more advanced rule, in the more complicated rules, they're all sort of grouped underneath the practice of the mancy that you're doing. So, and for some of you, I've left that on your sheets. So really cool one is the interpretation of lightning bolts, which I think the Dacian I left on the Dacian sheet because they hang out in the mountains. So you can read the meaning of lightning being sent by the gods and understand its importance. But broadly speaking, these are the things you can do. You can sort of seek to understand what's happening in a place right now. You can seek to understand whether the gods favor your, whether you have the favor of the gods. You can seek to understand the meaning of dreams. You can seek to understand the meaning of portents and omens. You can seek to, know the future. You can seek to know the past. And each of them come with a different difficulty number, which you roll with your D Magica. So this guy, I would hit, let's say because he's Egyptian, let's do interpretation of dreams. It's pretty tradish. So he's got a D Magica skill of 10. And I can either, this is the bit that's cute, I can either roll 2d5. I can roll a d4 and a d6. I can roll a d10, obviously. Oh, and I could also, you can have up to 3 die. So if I was feeling really, if I wanted to sort of get to a higher average, but a very low likelihood of getting a crit, which is a maximum value on the die, then I'd roll 2d3 plus a d4. So this is how all dice rolling works. You've got a dice pool effectively created by your value of the thing you're rolling. So in this case, D Magica 10. And then I can roll however I want to. It's all a little bit, I would suggest it's a little complicated at first. Hopefully it gets easier over time. The idea being the more dice you roll, the higher your average is likely to be, or the more likely you are to get an average roll. If you roll a single die, say I've just chosen a D10, then to quote Natty, I have a 1 in 10 chance of getting a 10, which means I've got a 1 in 10 chance of getting a crit. So there's a bit of sort of thinking it through. So in some ways, this is where I don't have a very high stat, but I'm going to have a go. You'd almost always choose the single die option because your chance of success is actually, like, for instance, if you had, let's say the target number was 6 and you only had Magica 4, the only way you're going to succeed is by getting a crit. So you might as well roll a d4 because it maximizes your chance of getting a crit. There's no point in rolling anything less. All right. And then when you roll dice, so I'll do that. They get rolled, and you get this concept of successes. So marginal success means within 1 to 3. 2 ranges of success means sort of 4 to 6, and then 7+, I think it is, for a major, like for 3 areas of success. Sometimes that has meaning, sometimes it doesn't. Big one where it has meaning is with things like portents and rituals, because the more you understand about what the actual thing means. The other big place that matters is in damage rolls. So when you roll attacks against your enemy, that dice roll determines what the multiplier that's applied to the damage value of the weapon is. So if a weapon has a damage of 4 and you get like sort of a, more than 5 or whatever it is, more than 6, you're going to apply 12 points of damage to that person. So once again, you can be very skilled with a reasonably small weapon and do a crap ton of damage with it just by constantly outperforming your opponent. That's an opposed roll. And by the way, the nice thing is the game system's done in such a way that as long as you're targeting an opponent when you roll all that dice, it'll auto roll their dice and do all of the opposition calculation for you and generate actually what the outcome is. It's very cool. It'll even do I think you can, it's just like in the One Ring version. If you click on the damage thing, it'll then do that as well. It's very cool. The Curatio table we will ignore just for now because it's a nightmare. And we'll also ignore the curriculum table, except to note, eventually what happens here is you put values in this X column. And the reason for that is that multiplies. So an adventure might be a 6 experience adventure. So the 6s go all the way down here, and then the multiplier is applied to them to give you the total, and then you need certain number of XP in a particular area to improve the skill of that thing to buy better skills. The other thing to note is there's these 2 at the bottom, which actually are very similar to Valor and what was the other one? Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Yeah.
Wisdom. So Mos Arcanorum is like gives you new magical rituals, so you can learn new magical rituals. And Pax Diorum is more like Valor in that it gives you better equipment, better weapons, better contacts, all of that sort of stuff.
So very much the same as Wisdom and Valor, yeah.
Yeah, very similar. So mechanically, you can see, the influence of the guys who wrote the One Ring, or more correctly, I think, the influence of this on the One Ring, because this game predates the One Ring. Not the second edition, but the first edition's been around since the 90s, I think. So
yeah, I saw actually that.
Yeah. So that's that. Right. So that's your character. That's how it's all set up. So basically, it's a difficulty number kind of system. And good news, it's very similar to Cypher. So it's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, so forth and so on. Up to 30, I think it goes up to.
Cool.
So those bandings are very similar and probably built for the same reason. All right. Any questions?
No.
I'll take
Seems...
No.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet as. All right. So you are members of Cohor's Arcana, which means you are a group of Praetorian Guard. You're the additional bit of the Praetorian Guard. So when the Emperor, the current Emperor, it should be noted, made a decision that, we need to do better on defending the Empire from evil. You've also already passed the end date of the Empire in true history. So it's after the 450 or whatever it is, 453. And the reason for that is you can tell the big thing the Romans are into is telling the future. That's what most of their magic does. And so basically they could see the coming crisis and they tried to dodge it. So they've successfully dodged the crisis that would have ended the Empire. And you now find yourself sort of on the front end of defending the Empire from magical and sort of supernatural threat. And a really important point, all magic comes from the gods. All magic.
Yeah.
Which also means all magic anyone else uses comes from gods.
Yep.
Yeah.
And because it's the sort of, that kind of world, there are other gods and there are other people. And there's this idea of the official cult, tolerated cults, and forbidden cults. You belong to the official cult. Tolerated cults include Mithrandic, so Mithras, Christianity gets a Guernsey. There's various Eastern faiths. Sabel gets a Guernsey. There's a bunch of those. And then there's the forbidden cults, which are either truly awful or completely fine, except they don't agree with the Empire's existence.
Yeah.
So apart from that one hiccup, yeah.
Yeah. It's like there's a cult in Dacia and Thracia where when you read the description of the cult, it's like, that don't seem so bad. Oh, except they want Dacia and Thracia to free themselves from the shackles of the Roman Empire and go their own way. Forbidden cult.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, we can't. No, we don't allow independence. That's not a thing.
We don't have splitters.
The Druids in Britannia are also a forbidden cult, as are the Druids in Gaul, for exactly that reason.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just guys helping people out. Yeah, but they also want to end the, free the Celtic lands from the Empire. Yeah, they're
Yep. Cult.
cult. Sounds like a cult to me. I think that's a forbidden cult right there. Right up there with the guys sacrificing babies, it's like, let's group all those
They're
guys
both
together.
equally evil, yeah.
They're both equally evil. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So the speech goes, conscript fathers, we have certainly formulated worrying assumptions about the reasons for this summons. Violated borders, rebel provinces, barbarian hordes racing across the plains of Gaul. None of these are correct, senators. The military and territorial supremacy of the Empire is still unchallenged. It is something more serious indeed, the nature of which goes far beyond your imagination. A sinister omen prompted me to consult the Sibylline books and to question the Oracle of Delphi, and the response was unanimous. An obscure design threatens the Empire's very existence. I realize, conscript fathers, how much this statement may sound disturbing. To better understand the situation, I invite you to close your eyes for a moment and travel into the past. Recall the ancient triumphs of our legions, march with them across the Etruscan cities and enter the palaces of Carthage and the villas of Egypt. Now take a closer look. There, hiding in the shadows, another small army labors in the necropolises, in the temples, in the pyramids. It is an army of scholars, priests, and augurs, the true architects of the new glory of Rome, greedy not for gold, slaves, and jewels, but for goods infinitely more precious, books, parchments, inscriptions, secrets of magic, and knowledge. Their work has continued across centuries of conquest until the time of Hadrian the Great, unequaled and unsurpassed master of divination. In his wisdom, Hadrian decreed the raising of the Valor, sensing immense dangers hiding behind any further expansion. With the passing of years and centuries, Hadrian's intent has been misinterpreted by lesser men, and the Valor were progressively transformed from defensive works into impassable walls of our voluntary imprisonment. Since then, our society has vainly wallowed in prosperity, losing every dynamic impulse, and our magical knowledge has been stagnant for 3 centuries in the barren swamp of self-complacency. Unfortunately, we are reaping today the bitter fruits of this course of action, and we find ourselves ill-equipped to oppose the magic of the barbarian shamans, Celtic druids, or Persian necromancers. Daily dispatches issued by the Legion stationed in the Valor report the mysterious and inexplicable phenomena. Ancient sacrificial cults claim new victims with ever-increasing frequency. Forbidden sex, unauthorized magical practices, and fanatics raving about the end of the world are multiplying like weeds. Like a flood wave, all of this is crashing against the building of profound fragility and whose foundations are damaged daily in more creeping and no less dangerous manners. By the scourge of corruption and malpractice, by the baneful trade of public office, by the abuses of debt collectors, and by the greed of the rich and powerful. It is to deal with this worrying situation, conscript fathers, that I ask you to approve the Lex Arcana, a law tasking the Praetorian Guard with the enlistment of 600 custodes. These men and women of the Empire will be given full autonomy of action, and they will constitute the first nucleus of the cohors Auxilia Arcana. The custodes shall act in small groups, study the most inexplicable phenomena, investigate the dark alleys of our cities, infiltrate forbidden cults, and cross the valor in search of ancient sources of knowledge. They will be chosen from among the most promising young people of the Empire and recruited from every province or societal class. They will receive specific training aimed at developing their natural aptitudes and predispositions. The power of the heroes of the past will be infused in their veins, and the magic of the Empire shall be at their service. Thanks to the cohors Auxilia Arcana, we will once again collect the fragmented knowledge of the peoples and purify it to create a consistent universal system that will fully penetrate the secrets and mysteries of magic and reach its full dominion. We thought we had already completed our mission, but we are deceiving ourselves. Today our mistake is clear. Forms of magic hitherto unknown recite the dispatches coming from the borders and the cities in turmoil. Rome cannot admit the concept of an unknown. Therefore, the custodes shall act in the name of knowledge. So, with that, your commission is to go forth and defend the Empire from such threats and to gather such knowledge as you might to strengthen the arms of the Empire to defeat its enemies, small, large, and indifferent. Right. On that note, we shall jump straight to in media res, as they say. I'll just get the adventure up. Just gotta get, wow, it's right at the top here. That's annoying. Okay. Right, here we go, right at the top. All right, Augusto Dunum. Okay, let me kick off with a bit of where the hell is Augusto Dunum? Hey, Augusto Dunum. Hold on, I can just search.
Oh, what is this?
Where do I search? Oh, there it is.
Oh, here we go.
Augusto.
Oh, so this is we started with our hometown or where we're based, Augusta Taurinorum.
Augusta Todunum. Augusto Dunum. Augusto Dunum. God, I hope it's actually a place.
No, that's something different.
Oh, hold on. I'll actually look up a place because I can look up a place. Where are you? I found it. Mediolanum. Mediolanum. The monumental city of Gercastodonum. The southern gates. They pass the tall walls through the southern gates of Rome. Oh, right. It's actually Rome. Okay.
Well, let's just go to Rome then.
Oh, no. He's right out in Gallia. All right. So, you are on the Via Agrippa, so the Agrippian Road, into Gaul. And I will pull up the actual, I know how to find the town, so I just had it in front of me. It is this one here, Mediolanum. Why is it not finding these places? Or it's not. That's annoying. All right. Damn, that's annoying. I finally had the... Oh, there it is. It's literally right in front of me. Okay, that's freaking embarrassing. Okay. Literally as I sort of went down into the map, it just went, oh, yeah, you mean here. I was like, okay. So let's go out. So you are here. You're on your way to here.
I can't see.
About to.
Okay. Ah.
Right. See the marker right there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're in the very heart. You're in the very heart of Gorlick territory.
Right. Up on the... It's what that the Central Massif somewhere? Maybe?
They're over here. This is where the mountains are. So just on the sort of the side of what is now France that sits outside of, on the there's Vienna. And there you are.
Yeah, too many astral rolls tell me that's bad being in the middle there.
No, yeah. I love the way all the towns are named Caesadorum, Augusta. It's not like they had a lot of inventiveness in naming towns. Once you just rolled through, Okay, so you find yourselves having traveled many, many thousands of miles on roads. Apparently, you could do 30 kilometers though a day. So you were tracking hard.
Pretty good.
And you are now at Mediolanum. Right. So why are you here? It takes 5 days along the Via Agrippa for the custodians to arrive at the monumental city of Augustodunum. You pass through tall city walls, and you go through the southern gate of Rome. So the gate on the Via Agrippa that takes you south towards Rome. The fortifications around the town are held by a Vexiliato and a temporary detachment of the Legion 1 Martia, a group of hardened veterans. You see them manning the walls, watching carefully as you enter the town. This will be your opportunity for your actual first... I can't believe we're already rolling dice, but we're already rolling dice. How's that? Can I get anyone, all of you, it doesn't matter, feel free, to roll for me, please? Oh, yeah, no, that's good. Thank you. Your sensibilitas.
Sensibilitas.
Ooh, I've got lots of that. I'll roll it.
I think it's sensibilitas. Actually, hold on. I better just double check that I was reading that correctly.
Okay.
Yeah, sensibilitas.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So I can roll different. I'm going to try that. And how do I do that?
That way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Electra is good at reading people.
Electra
gets people.
Oh my god. Why did that roll 4d4? Should have been 2d4.
Oh, yep. Okay. Can I roll that? Oh.
Yep.
How is that?
Okay.
I don't know why. My sensibility. It rolled 4d4 instead of 2d4 for my sensibilitas.
Well, it couldn't have because you got 2.
No, I got.
No, I got 2.
I got
your
15.
guys.
Yeah, and I got 4, 4, 4, 3.
I got 4, 4, 4, 3, which is no, I have 8 sensibilitas. Yeah.
Which character are you playing?
Electra.
Okay. You're playing Electra. You rolled your sensibilitas. I roll your sensibilitas, and I go. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll try and... Oh, it lets... What? No, it won't. No, you can't roll. No, it's stopping me. I'll...
Yeah, no, I only
roll.
clicked on 2 and hit roll, and then it just rolled 4. It didn't do it that time. I don't know why I did the first time.
All right. Anyway, the
Anyway.
main thing is most of you got more than enough successes. Some of you got quite a few successes. By the way, difficulty numbers vary. So that was, I should have said that was a difficulty 6 roll. It doesn't matter for the purposes of this. So you set difficulty up in that corner of the roll sheet.
Right, yeah. Okay.
That you should be able to see. So, Electra and Pendarin, you both notice something very weird. Well, not weird, but you notice that you can see there's lots of, prayers to the, sort of warding against evil and prayers to the gods painted on the weapons and the armor of the Legion, of the Legio unit that's here. So you can see that they've obviously been going in heavy, far more than is traditional. There's some suggestion there that something is not going well.
The soldiers are really bothered.
They are. Now, you're challenged at the gates, obviously, because you're coming in. You're obviously well equipped. Most of you are wearing armor. You're carrying weapons of various kinds. So at the gate, you're challenged by a member of said Legio, Vexiliato. Stop, travelers, and declare your intent. Now you are literally Praetorian Guard. So personal guard to the Emperor, the whole show. You've got, passage, you've got your official warrants, for want of better language, that pretty much give you carte blanche to do whatever you want, but you've been stopped at the gate by this guy who's obviously challenging you. As he stops you, he makes a sign against the evil eye.
Jolly good. What's actually our official title? Are we Questars or something like that, or
Custodes? Well, your actual formal title at the moment is on your character sheets, and you're Gregorias, which is basically low-ranked members of the Praetorian Guard.
Right. All right. Well,
so you're all Gregorias, or whatever, however you pronounce that.
Gregarious.
Yeah.
Well, Gregarious. Because people long A. Right. In the middle there.
Sorry, what did you say?
There's a lot. That middle A is a long A, so it'd be Gregarious.
Gregarious. Yeah.
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 Okay. All right. Okay. I step forward from the group and greet him.
Greetings. And you can pass through pretty quickly. You can just show him your official.
I basically demand that he opens the gates in the name of the Gregarious of the Emperor. Which Emperor are we on right now?
It's not who. I think it's Theodosius. Don't quote me on that. That sounds right. I should know the name of it. Oh no! What did I hit? Create. I don't want to create. I want to just open. There you go. This will tell me. Who is the Emperor? Who is the Emperor?
Second, perhaps 402 to 450.
Yeah. Wow, they spend a lot of time saying the names. Theodomurus.
Okay. In the name of Theodomurus, grant us access.
Right. Of course, and they let you through. They're not here. We shall take you directly to the legate, who is effectively, the guy who governs the area. The legatus, sorry, the legatus. Theodosius Antenor, legatus Theodosius Antenor. Greetings, cohorts. I'm glad you've come. We have identified. So this has all come about because you've been notified by letter that strange and ill fortune has been striking the Roman peoples of the region. And in particular, there has also been some level of social disharmony, i.e. brigands and bandits on the roads. But there's also been a lot of bad luck going on, floating around. Hey, Brandon.
Hey, sorry, I didn't know we were playing. I slept in.
All good. We will need to give you a character. I'll just do that very quickly. Unfortunately, we're just doing the quick start rules so we can get our heads around how the game works before we make characters. Okay. Just to make it easy. So you are playing this guy. Oh, did you when you join the Foundry, I'll ping him to you. But you're basically playing an Egyptian Egyptian Greek architect, because of course the Greeks are mostly running Egypt at this point. So
okay.
Aulus Antilochus, who is an engineer and deep master of the sciences, and wearing more armor than anyone human should wear. I do find it
human dwarf.
He is like a human dwarf, except he doesn't have the same carrying capacity as a dwarf. So he's literally 7 points or 4 points or falling over. It's really quite hilarious. He's wearing all this heavy armor, and it's obviously a sort of I can't dodge it, so I'll just wear as much armor as I can kind of attitude that's playing out. And you guys you're in the middle of Gaul, so in the middle of France, or actually not on the middle. You're in the sort of far eastern side of France. And you've been summoned here because strange and ill-fated things have been happening to people in the local area. And you've been tasked with the solving of this problem on behalf of the empire to which you belong. All right. The Pagus Mandoraverum, roughly the area between here and the town of Aballo, is a den of murdering brigands, a true thorn in our side. This region is rich, and many locals profit from the dense forest and abundant streams and rivers. The traffic on the Via Agrippa is dense, but everyone is becoming increasingly afraid of being attacked, so much that we had to provide traveling dignitaries and rich merchants with armed escorts. He unrolls this map and points between Augustodunum and Aballo, explaining the attacks concentrated on a stretch of road centered on the town of Sidolocus. Brigands have always been a threat along Sidolocus, but their audacity has grown, especially since the killing of the farmer of the former prefect, Prefectus Ananae of the city of Lungdum, a year ago. In 12 months, they have dared more and more, proving to be uncatchable. We established regular patrols in the area, but the territory is vast and I have no men to spare. The number of troops stationed here is insignificant, as Gallia isn't a border province. Moreover, my soldiers are not familiar with this region, as they used to be stationed in the Castra Raurentia in southern Germania. I myself was only sent here a few months ago. In conclusion, I don't have enough resources here to explore the area without leaving Augustinum unguarded, but I have to answer to those who have been damaged by the brigands, including Drusus Milo, the prefectus, who I told you about, who wants me to find his father's stolen goods and to crucify all of his father's murderers. By the way, yeah. So it's Rome. So
crucifying is going to happen.
Dealing with criminals is definitively, pretty direct.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is there anything you would like to ask the legatus?
So apart from the brigands' presence in the area and the unfortunate nature of their fighting and claiming land, you talked about other events that are affecting people, like omen, like bad things happening to them. What's the nature of these things? Crop failures, or
there has been well, I mean, it's nothing significant, but there has been a surprising string of bad luck in the area.
hardly worth mentioning.
Everyone looks nervous and disheartened here. From the patricians to their villas, from the patricians in their villas in Sidolocus to the soldiers struggling to catch these wretches. Jupiter, even the horses are skittish in that area.
Right.
Mm.
Right. Is there anything else?
Now, you can do a little bit of you can do a couple of things. So it's a bit of an investigative game. So the rules are that you can use skills to sort of do broad research to kind of, like, you don't have to be experts at investigation. You've got skills for that job. So there's a couple of things available to you to do in addition. One, you can go and talk to the locals and find out what you can find out. The soldiers who you have walked through, who had all the, warding of the evil eye sort of stuff going on. The second thing is there's actually the equivalent of making a sort of local area history roll, which is done with D-Scientia. So that's kind of what, actually, it's what Ulus does, Brandon's character.
Shit.
He's pretty good at it.
I'm very good at it. Wow.
And then there's also, you can ask the gods for guidance. You can conduct various rituals to seek the guidance of the gods, or indeed seek to know something that you do not currently know. So you can ask for the favor of the gods. You can sort of seek to understand what's happening. You can, look for portents, the flight of birds, that sort of thing. It's that sort of game. And what I love is the science and the, casting of the bones. They're pretty much considered the same thing in this world. Oh, now, Brandon, you didn't get the very quick run through on dice rolling.
No, it's not the Wanderer's Tale. Are you still using that same server?
Oh no!
The
So
Wanderer's
if
Tale?
you go into the Discord, it's the
And
top
go to the
message
pin.
in Lex Arcana.
Yes.
And there's a
And
Is that
it'll
the one at
open
the
up.
very top?
Yeah. It should be the
okay.
Foundry link is duh.
Oh, okay, it works now. I had to log in first, and then when I clicked the link. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay, I just jumped in. You can give me a character now.
Yeah. I shall do so. Good point. I need to do that. So that's all figure ownership. Oh, yeah, there you are. You have Ulus, who's the first one of the tokens.
Okay,
Ulus
cool.
Antilochus.
Nice.
Science guy.
Nice.
Science guy. He is very good at science. I'll just quickly go to sharing my screen again, and I'll just show you how the dice rolling works, Brendan. And I'll actually use your character to do it. So if you go to your first sheet, the one I'm showing you now, and you click on Descientia, you'll get this pop up.
Okay.
This is where you change the difficulty. Up here in that corner. Oh, it's not showing it. That's interesting. Okay, so you can change the difficulty up there in that corner. And then the way it works is you've got a dice pool and you make it up of dice, literally. So you could, in this case, go, I'm going to use 3d6 for a D8 for an 18 dice pool. Equally, it could be, what could it be? A D10 and a D8. It could be a D... Oh, we're both playing with it at the same time. Okay, I'll get out of there.
I'm not touching anything.
64.
No, I'm not touching anything. It's
It's got a mind of its own.
kind of mind of its own.
The gods
So you could do that or that. So anyway, the point being, it's up to you how you divide the dice pool. An 18, you're always going to have to roll more than one die. But to note, if you only had a die, like if you had a 10 dice pool, you could roll a d10. If you had a 20 dice pool, you could roll just a d20. And then you roll, and then it works.
Yeah.
And I'll just empty out your payer task because I used that earlier for just to show something. So there you go. All right. So someone can do a science roll. Someone or someone's can go do some talking to the local troops. If someone or someone's want to cast, ask the gods for their favor, you can describe. There's a couple of options. You've got your hunt down an animal, cut out its entrails, and read them. Model of Gaius, you wrote that I gave you decent hunting skill, and you have I have
Horus
Magia.
Piscina.
Yeah, I put Horus Piscina.
Well, I have 8 in Dimagia.
So you're not that great, but
It exists.
it exists. Whereas Pandaren has more than enough magic for everyone.
Yeah. I'm just trying to decide which one do I want to have a crack at first. I'm thinking interpretation of portents or maybe some clairvoyance could be up for something.
So clairvoyance allows you to see another place at the time that you're seeing it. So there's clairvoyance, retrocognition, and precognition are sort of, seeing the future, seeing the past, seeing the present. There's the interpretations of omens, or portents, interpretation of dreams, and favor of the gods, which tells you the more sort of, the threats, the unknown threats kind of logic. You will notice that precognition is quite hard.
Yes,
it has a difficulty of 12.
I might go for favor of the gods then. So that will tell us
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yep. So how would you what ritual will you use to seek the favor of the gods? You got a couple of options here. You can do the Horus Spexa. You can go and get a sheep, open it up, look at the liver, that kind of thing. Classic liver reading.
I think my favorite would be the runestones. I've got my runestone.
So you're cutting into the official cult with a bit of.
That'll be what it is. Casting knucklebones.
Okay, you're casting knucklebones. All right. So you can roll the skill. I think you can roll the magical talent directly. So if you're looking at magic, it should have a little dice roll. So if you're going to use favor of the gods, you can just click on that, and hopefully it'll use your Dimagia skill.
Yeah, it is looking like it. So
cool.
Let's do one of those and one of those and give it a crack. Marginal success. Ooh, it is an unlucky place. This is an unlucky.
It is an unlucky place. Okay. You do get a sense of it though. You throw the bones, and you do get a bit of a hint. And that hint is because I actually very sensibly wrote it into the back of the thing. You get if you favor the gods. Yes, the Roman gods favor the idea that you should go and deal with this problem.
Well, good to know.
Good to know. Excellent.
You cast the knucklebones, and the gods, endorse this investigation.
Yep. Cool.
All right. Does anyone else want to seek to understand? Anyone else want to, have a go at some ritual magic-y stuff?
Honestly, I'm terrible at it.
One of you's not too bad. I think one of you's got 10. Oh, it might be Brandon, actually. I think the Egyptian's actually okay at magic as well.
Actually, I'm not.
Science and magic.
I could be worse, actually. I've got a D8.
You're going to change your name from Jarl. No.
I do. I'm still Jarl. No.
Gotta let that shit go, man. Gotta let that shit go.
Yeah.
You gotta move on.
You gotta move on.
That's what's not happening here.
I can't just abandon it.
Yeah, you're the demiurge at the moment. Yeah,
which is what I'm meant
good.
to be. Yeah. Yeah, I changed my name. I kept up.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So there's so you cast the bones and you feel the presence of the gods surround you, Pandaren, and then there's a moment of certainty. Yes, this is what the gods want us to do. We must solve this mystery.
Great. Yeah.
In case you're
Yeah.
planning on not solving the mystery, yeah.
Well, they could have told you they don't want you to do anything.
They could have.
That could
Yeah,
have happened,
yeah.
and then we could have left.
And then you could have said, "Hey, it's on you guys, Legatus. We're not
Yeah,
going
yeah.
anywhere near this
All
shit.
right.
Connecting with the
God
gods.
say
They're
no.
not fans."
Yeah.
The computer said no.
Just remember, which Roman general was it where he there was some story about the birds not indicating, and then he released a whole flock of chickens to attack the enemy and then just chase them. Anyway, that's a story. I think it's fought in Sicily when he's fighting the Greek cities. Okay, so Brandon, do you want to give us I'm going to do some research on the local area roll, please? Brandon?
The under.
Mhm.
Oh, there you are.
Oh, why is it? Oh, that was weird. Why would that not? Or what would that be under?
Descientia. So if you look on the first sheet, on the first tab, you'll have Descientia, and that is where you will. That's what you will roll.
Descientia. Oh, I see it. Okay. And I click on probably this 18 is probably. Oh, I click on the dice. Okay.
You click on the dice, and 18 is a huge number. So yes.
Yeah.
And then you decide how many dice you want to, how you want to split that dice pool up into dice.
And I'm trying to get sixes, right?
Well, yeah, you want the highest roll possible. So the less dice you roll, the lower the average might be, but the greater the likelihood you'll get a maximum roll.
Like a critical?
Yeah. You get the absolute maximum you get to roll again. But look, this is one stuff. Difficulty 9, though. This is a difficulty
9. All right.
Yeah.
So I'll check this. Put it to 9. Challenging 9. All right. And then how many dices do I have to make?
Well, you just have to fill in the pool. So you'll see there's a little pool counter at the top, and it'll have 18 or 19, and then you just click on the plus symbols above the die until you get to 18. It won't let you roll more than 18 though, so don't click on the d20 because that won't work.
And I can choose any dice I want.
Yep, as long as I think you can only use 3 at any one time. So it's got to be 3 dice.
It has to be 3. Okay.
Or less, but it can't be more.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Wow. Okay, this is cool. But I can't. So I can't roll 3 d10s.
No, because your pool is 18. It won't let you.
It'd be over 18. I gotcha. So if my pool is 20, I could roll 1 d20.
Correct.
Okay, I get how this works.
Or 2d5 plus a d10 or.
Interesting. Okay.
There's lots of ways you can split it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's try this then. 8. We'll do a 6. And wow, this is cool. Okay. Let's just see how this works.
Ooh, nice.
All right. You got a marginal success. So, you study the maps and you realize something which may not be at first apparent. You are in the area, you don't know the exact location, but you are in the area of Elysia. So Elysia was the holy city of the local Gallic tribes and was the final place of battle between the Gauls and Caesar, the divine Caesar, I should say, divine Caesar, where he beat Vercingetorix. So yes, Rob, on the subject of, your earlier comment about Asterix and Obelix. This is somewhere in this region, although that was now, 600 years ago. So to be clear, this is ancient history for you guys. But Alicia was burnt to the ground, the earth was salted, that kind of story. So no one knows exactly where it is. But this is the region in which that battle was fought.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
All right. Does anyone want to talk to some people?
Yes. There weren't any particular things that stood out in that revelation that Brandon just had, like places or anything like that?
I don't think so. I think you just know that it's around
You
here.
did a
somewhere.
marginal anyway.
It does mean you could, like, so there is enough information in the understanding that you could then sort of seek
That's all right.
further details. So
yeah, I'm basically I'll be talking to the soldiers, asking them about their patrols and where they're patrolling, any incidents that are out there. It's good that they have fortified their spirits, their vigilance with the protective markings on their stout shields and their armor and so forth. But yes, I'm just trying to get the information of what sort of weird things are happening out there and where roughly did these things happen.
Cool. That will be a Sciatate roll with a difficulty of 6. By the way, I wasn't quite right. So, Brandon, this is what you actually... So, you've worked this out. And, of course, Caesar wrote down all about Alicia. Like, he wrote down stuff about it. So, Alicia was located on the top of a hill in a very lofty position to that it did not appear likely to be taken except by regular siege. 2 rivers on 2 different sides washed the front of the hill. Before the town lay a plain about 3 miles in length, on every side hills at a moderate distance and of an equal degree of height surrounded the town. So basically, in front of it was a large plain. It was surrounded by hills. It was intersected by 2 rivers.
Okay.
So whilst the exact location has been forgotten, you're actually able to just read Caesar's, treatise on the Gallic War and actually just kind of get it.
Okay.
Now, Rob, make me a Societe roll. Societe roll.
Oh, what? It is 18. Oh my god. No.
You failed, didn't you?
Absolutely. It's only
we don't talk to any foreigners in this part of the world, mate.
Yeah, obviously the guy that gave me the evil eye symbol at the
exactly.
had a bad vibe about me.
Yeah. That's what it's going on, man. You're not popular. There's a deep degree of that's racist. That's blatant racism.
The empire
right
is
there.
meant to be incorporating of all peoples who are to be
exactly
citizens.
Right. No, so you find out nothing, Zenobia. It's just like no one wants to talk to you. Does anyone else want to, try and build a bridge to the local legionnaires with the societe roll?
I mean,
remember, guys, the worst that happens is you fail.
Doesn't do. Yeah, I was like, I mean, look, it could.
Yeah.
It could work. Let me just do a little. There we go.
If you've got a really low dice pool, Gaius Valerius, however, the Illyrian Roman. Is,
wait, hang on, I didn't do the difficulty right there.
Is Gaius fair spoken?
No, he's not. He's a grunty, bear wearing kind of guy with a shield and thing. No, you got the success because you got exactly 6, which is what you needed.
Right, yeah, cool.
Yeah. Because it was a DT6.
Yeah.
Right, they're obviously, they see in you a fellow legionary type person. You look like a proper legionnaire, not like one of these foreigners. Because the cohort's Arcana lets people dress however they want, right? You look like a proper Roman. That's obviously the difference. Whereas Zenobia, and all of that,
Easterner.
floaty Easterner shit looks a bit foreign. Anyway, my friends, this is a bad place. This is the message from the guy. My friends, this is a bad place indeed. Guarding the frontier in Germania was much better. These brigands are smart enough to avoid our patrols and as vicious as the barbarians on the border. Sometimes we find what they left behind, headless bodies along the road or emerging from the bogs that they were thrown into, and hunting them is so frustrating. They seem to pass through mires, forests, and mountains like they were marching on a consular road, while we can't set foot into the forest without getting tangled in thorny bracken.
Mm.
Okay. So, yes.
All right. Well, I know about forests. I know, like, that's so cool. I know stuff about forests. I may know nothing about people, but I know a lot about forests.
You do.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
well.
So, are we going to go and venture out of the city now and go along the roads and have a look around? Look for signs of brigands?
Yeah, suppose so.
So it's about 6 hours to Sidolocus from where you are along the road.
Okay. Sidolocus. So let me see. Where are we now?
And we're-
You're
Up
at Augustinum. Yeah.
Could you show me on the map where we are, Thomas? Sorry about that.
I can. Just give me 1 second. Just need to flip over to the other screen. You are where that red dot is. A yellow dot, sorry.
The yellow dot?
Okay. Yeah, and just so you know where that is roughly, it's on the eastern side of what is now France, on the road to Rome, to the capital of the whole province, Lugdunensis over here. So I'm not sure. Yeah, you can see my mouse. So you guys are down here. And yeah. And here is Sidolocum there. So north along, effectively north of Augustinum along this road.
Mm.
And this, what year is this?
The exact year I am not quite clear on, but because I did have it worked out and then I promptly forgotten. Damn it, I have the calendar.
Is it, the calendar says September 10th, 1229 right now?
Yeah, but that's 1229 since the founding of Rome.
Yeah. Oh, where was this one? Oh, it was in the start of this book, wasn't it? Which is, I just saw it.
You're just over 500 AD, I think it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe further. So the Empire has lasted longer than the Empire, is the point.
Oh,
You've
476 CE, our world.
Yeah. So you passed the date of the fall of the Empire.
And in this universe, Rome still holds the same amount of territories. It's not fractured.
Correct.
Still,
okay. Yep. The borders are as per the late Empire period of Rome. So
cool.
Germania, so Germany, England, England, basically Wales and Scotland are independent, all the way down across all of North Africa, along the edge of the border through to Egypt, so all of Egypt, then up around to the edges of Syria, what is currently Syria, and parts of what is now Jordan, so the Nabateans are part of the empire, and then up and around, over around the Black Sea, along the Black Sea, so all of Anatolia, all through Byzantium, up the coast of the Black Sea, then inland, basically following the line of Romania, all the way up to that connection back into Germania. So the empire is actually freaking huge. It's a couple of thousand miles across by way of simplicity. All right, cool. Okay, so your next stop is to travel to north to. Oh, there we go. To Siddelucum. Okay. So you get on horses, I assume, or walking, or which? Actually, this is a good question. Are you walking or riding?
Riding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's faster, don't you know?
Riding. Yeah,
probably.
Definitely.
All right. Cool.
I see that there'll be all in these hills up here.
There will.
Yeah. I reckon I can see on this map here that there's a temple to Janus.
Yeah, the two-headed god of Roman mythology.
I think it would be worth a stop there, right?
Well, if you pray at a temple, you can recover some of your perite that you use up. Some of your... Yeah. No. Prayer matters in this game. Going, official cult shit. Keeping in good with the gods is a good thing to do. You know, that sort of game.
Absolutely. Let's stop there for a
let's check
prayer
in.
stop. Check in. Make sure things are still good with the gods.
Yeah.
You know, wouldn't want them to think bad things of you.
No.
All right, so you're traveling along the road. Okay. All right, you're traveling on the road to Siddelucus. It's been quiet. You're a reasonably well-armed group. You're carrying the panoply of war. Like, you're all armored. You're all carrying weapons. You're on horses. Yeah. You look like you mean business. There's only 5 of you, but you do look kind of scary. So can I get Denatura rolls, please?
Denatura rolls?
Yeah. Don't spend a mile on it. It's not that big a deal. It's not a major roll. I just want people to roll it, please.
What difficulty is it? 3.
3 will do.
Cool.
Nope.
Zenobia.
Get the score on the board.
I got it.
I'm obviously going to get praying to the gods.
Electra and Gaius were both in the regular successes. Pandaren was a marginal. I don't think Aulus has rolled. Hey, Brandon, you haven't rolled.
Yeah, I didn't roll because I have a 6.
No, but I need you to roll. I'm asking.
Oh, you need me to roll. You're asking me to roll.
Yes. Yeah.
It's easy.
Yep.
Asking is a nice way of putting it.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. Okay. So, can everyone? Okay. So no, that's to tell you something in a second. What's the? Oh wow, it's just damage. Okay. Wow. Okay, that's nasty. All right. Suddenly breaking out of you're riding along. It's deep forest. You're on this road going through the deep forest. Suddenly, you're all bursting out of the trees is a large group of crows. A murder, if you will, of crows. The murder of crows flaps around you, disturbing your horses and hitting you with their beaks as they fly through. Does anyone have less than? I think you've all got 3 points of armor. And I kind of feel like that's fine. So the birds sort of flap against you and fly against you. Can I get so everyone who failed is thrown from their horse by the experience as the horses sort of, rise up and throw you off and hurl you, but definitively because they're being pecked at by these birds. You find yourselves on the ground. Those people who failed, just to make bad ends feel worse, could you both? I think it's Zenobia and Ulus. Could you both make not decorpore? Why is that now not working? What's going on? No, can't click on anything now. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that is great. That is. I'll just do it this way then. What do I want? I want a coordination roll. So you in your virtues above your skills, you've got coordinatio.
Yep.
The target is 6.
Target is 6. Easy.
Yeah, this is only if you failed. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Oh right.
There we go. Failed that as well.
Wonderful.
Seriously, when we get to this temple, I need to meditate and do some God work.
Do some God work. Hey, God. Oh, okay. You both fail, which means you both take 3 points of actual damage. So please mark 3 points against your life as you are hurled to the ground.
So not in the armor?
Nope. Because this is like, impact damage falling.
Start at the other end.
Yes, you start at the other end, yes.
I did the same thing.
It looks like you should start that way because of the way it's all flagged, but I believe you start at the other end, yes. All right, so you're hurled to the ground by this experience.
Right. Roman swear words.
Latin swear words. What I need is some Latin swear wording.
Swearing. Oh dear.
Okay. The
right. All right. Well, I get up, muttering under my breath. Is my horse still around?
I will assume your horses have been grabbed by the other people before they ran off.
Yeah.
Excellent. What the heck was that?
A portent. This is an ill-favored land.
Pandaren, do you want to do a quick check-in with the portents and omens folk?
Oh heck yeah! I sure do. Right, I'm gonna try just doing 3 of those.
You will need to whatever it is actually. Sorry, interpretation of portents.
Yeah. It says difficulty 6. Does that sound fine?
Yeah. You just click on if you click on the dice next to the portent, it'll all fire up. Yep, that's fine. Ooh.
Woo-hoo, a regular success. Better than a marginal one.
Yeah, all right. You do have so you check in with the gods on this one. What does this tell us? And you feel that this is not a portent in the way that you would normally treat with them, because a portent is the gods send you a message.
Yeah.
Via portents and experience, but there is definitely something happening here. That those birds were definitely in the service of a god.
But not one of our gods, not one of the.
Well, of course, as the official cult would say, whatever you think, but you might have a broader vision of, gods than the official cult perhaps suggests.
Because I checked in with the gods yesterday, and they were like, "Yes, go this way,"
true.
so they wouldn't be able to attack us. We're like,
That's
this
right.
is not our gods doing this. This is some evil spirit. Okay.
Yes,
Or
exactly. Better. Official cult tick. Some evil spirit.
Yes, the Empire should do more to crack down on these heretical
sorceries. And
Yeah, well, that's our
Cult
job. Our
leaders.
job is we are the cracker downers. That's us.
You
Yeah.
are. You are.
Yes.
You're here to make sure that good, proper righteousness is enforced across the empire. There is, of course, the tolerated cults, but we don't talk about them. They're basically a sideshow. Yeah.
If people want to believe strange things that are clearly wrong, that's up to them. But
But they don't fundamentally
all.
disrupt the empire, so that's okay.
yeah, so whatever.
Is that the tolerated cults? Is that Christianity? Is that one of the tolerated
Yes, Christianity
cults?
is one of the tolerated cults. The worship of Satan, however, is not a tolerated cult, just so that's been clarified.
Just to clarify.
Fanatical cultists.
That's right. Crazy people. They're just crazy people. But they mostly keep to themselves, so no one bothers them too much. All right. So, does anyone else want to, investigate or consider the nature of this experience? The Scientia, the Natura.
I was gonna say, is there a Natura kind of
investigation
into crow behavior?
Yep, there is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'd love to think about how crows act.
Do it.
I think go 2d5s and a d6.
They act like
An extraordinary success.
Only against a target number of 3, though.
Oh, only against a 3.
So let's make it a not extraordinary success. Let's make it a regular success.
Sure.
Okay, so 2 things you know. 1, crows don't gather in groups this big normally. 2, these were very aggressive crows.
Yeah.
As in unnaturally aggressive. Crows just aren't this aggressive. So yes, you have a suspicion there was something weird about the crows. Also, you saw nothing that would have startled the crows.
Yeah. Crow. That was why would they just randomly jump out and attack people? Crows don't attack people. They can't eat a person. That's not good hunting.
I mean, they might attack a person who was trying to steal their eggs or something.
Yeah, but we were just walking along the road.
Yeah, that's weird.
Did anyone see what direction they came from?
They came from the forest. They came from within the forest. So you're riding down this road. You're surrounded by this large dark forest, and they came basically straight out of the forest.
Yeah. The gods did say that the bandits disappear into the forest seemingly with ease. That
they did.
Is not
they are on a consular road. So in other words, a road in the middle of Rome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we should check out the forest.
Can we walk up and down the roads until we see maybe some wear down on the bushes or grass that's been patted down over use? Maybe they have a trail or something.
A trail into the forest is a good idea.
Okay. Do you want to search for a trail in the forest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think, Gaius, you've actually got hunting as a.
I do.
As a
I do have
speciality.
hunting.
So you can roll that if you want.
Okay.
Because you're kind of searching for tracks and other
what's
things.
the difficulty?
Let's say difficulty 6.
6. Cool. Okay. And there we go. Oh, there we go. Roll dice. A marginal success.
A marginal success. No, you find tracks and other things, but you don't find anything specifically valuable.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay, so you are approaching the town of Sidalocum, and we're going to have to stop in a few minutes, by the way. Sorry, I did start by, well, I put in the Discord that I had to finish at 3, so. You're approaching Sidalocum. As you approach, you can see that the town itself follows very classic Roman lines. So there, in Gaul in particular, there's a mix of towns that sort of have their origin pre-Roman, so basically Gallic towns that have stuck around, and then there's a whole bunch of towns that were stood up and built by Romans, and they all have very straight lines and very square, sort of designs or rectangular designs. This is clearly the latter. So it is clearly a town of Roman origin. It's been constructed in that way. However, in front of the town lies a wide valley floor. There's wet pastures and marshes all around it. It's actually a very sort of, it's surrounded by hills on the right. And you can see that there are crops growing on the open field in front of it. As you approach, you hear crying and sort of chanting. 4 crucifixes have been stood up outside the town, and you can see 4 naked men wearing around their necks the plaques that that state their crime. So they've been crucified, and their plaques are on their chest. Standing underneath the 4 crosses are a bunch of pretty ordinary looking Roman soldiers, or at least local Gaelic soldiers wearing very ordinary Roman kit. So this is not high end. These guys are not legionnaires in the sense of they're not professional soldiers. These are more like auxiliary forces, or vigiles, which are basically the local police force, who also put out fires, interestingly. On the other side of the road from them is a whole bunch of people, men and women, all sort of praying to the gods. This is the official gods, the Mercuries and the Minervas and so forth, making obeisances and prayers for protection against the darkness and prayers for protection against all the disasters that have struck our people. It's not a pretty place. It looks run down. It looks defeated a bit. As you ride past the crucifixes, you can see the 4 men have all been accused of being brigands. It's basically got that plastered on the thing. And there's a gate entering into the town and a low wall surrounding it. There's no one at the gate. There's no guard. You can just ride in.
Yep. Okay, cool.
Yep, cool. Yeah. We'll do that then, I guess. Right in. Yeah.
Okay. You may wish. So you've got a couple of choices here. You can kind of declare your hand immediately and say who you are and where you're from. In which case, the way you do that is you just go to the local authorities and say, we're here from, cohors, Arcana, and we're here to see, investigate what's going on. Or, of course, your other option is you can just be like any other group of armed travelers moving through this area. And there's, as you were told by the legatus earlier, there's a lot of that at the moment because it's an unsafe space. So people riding around with weapons and armor is not that uncommon.
It's not unusual. Yeah.
And go and stay at the inn. Now, town itself, I should make one point. The town itself is reasonably big for all of that. So there's about 4,000 people in the town, which makes it quite a sizable, place.
Yeah.
Because this is when, I remember reading this once, the population of the Roman Empire prior to the fall to the Hunnic invasion was as great as 17th century Europe. So in effect, the population of Europe didn't recover to the levels of the late Roman Empire until the 17th century. So yeah, lots of people.
Yeah.
Towns, every 10 or so miles, all of that sort of thing. It's all very well organized and very heavily populated.
All right. Well,
I think we should just announce ourselves. Like, we're here on official business. Let's just be here on official business. There's nothing to hide at this stage from anybody. So,
although if we were to not declare ourselves as here on official business, it might be easier to see if there are, or it might be easier to find people who are hiding from people on official business.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So if we go and are just an armed group, stay in a tavern or an inn, we can. We could blend in a bit easier, maybe. I'm just going to put out there, based on our experience with the crows and what people have been saying, it feels like there's probably some sort of cult going on.
Yeah. Listen to the gossip.
Yeah.
Listen to the gossip in the tavern.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Go down to what is I've forgotten the word for it. Papina is the restaurant, and there was another one. Anyway.
There's also another reason why you don't declare yourself straight away, and that is there might be corruption in the Roman ranks.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Tavern.
Tavernae or stabula in this case, because it's also got a stables. So, so you're going to the stabula to rest. All right. Well, that's pretty much where we'll have to stop it. So you guys basically rock up at the stabula, and you put, you're greeted by the innkeeper, who's very emphatic that it's good to see that not all have, given up the roads and are brave enough to face down these brigands. He's a very big fan, and greets you and suggests that you rest for the night. And, you've kind of been riding for nigh on, well, it was 6 hours plus, crow attacks. So probably you've been on the road for 7 or 8 hours. So it's actually getting dark again. And it's definitively a time, where you basically can eat some food and then rest. So who's got the highest? Oh, it's Zenobia, isn't it? Evan, you got the highest sensibilitas?
Me? No.
Yeah.
I got the highest sociotate.
I think I've got 15, so I might have a look.
You might be it.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
So, Padaran, this is how it ends.
All right. So is it a difficulty 3?
No need to roll. No need to roll. I just need to know who had the highest number. You're all laying in your beds. You've ridden, hard. Some of you have taken damage. You're resting. Padaran, you are woken by a sound at the window of your room. There's a scratching sound at the window and a low giggling like that of children, but it's echoey, like distant sound of children giggling, but not distant because it's right against the window, and you can hear the sort of the scratching at the window pane. And as you look out the window, you see small forms wearing dark shadow, wearing dark clothing, sort of hoods and robes, sort of scuttling away from the window and giggling as they do. And that is where we will, because you next need to decide what you're going to do about the giggling children thing.
Yeah.
Children.
By the way, I should also have said earlier, Magica is also like a knowledge skill. It's not just a practice of magic skills. So it's also knowing about cults and knowing about those sorts of things. So it's also
Mm.
like the knowledge skill that goes with magic, because
Yeah.
magic in this world is very much you've read books, you practice the right practices.
Yes.
Yeah.
Knowing the right
Okay.
rituals to, call upon the gods.
And that is where we will end it. So,
Excellent.
so we'll try and play in a fortnight. Basically, yeah. So, kind of like I'll just end this streamy thing here.